The devil knows in order to discredit the message, you have to first of all discredit the messenger. I'm a human being, and you know, I've had to do a lot of praying, and my family has been very supportive. Because when I feel like an injustice has been done, I get angry. And yet I respect the law. And so as I began to pray, the Lord said, I want to deal with you. And he took me to when Paul was going to God, and Paul began to beseech God 3 times that he would take this thing on him 3 times, that he would let it depart from him. And God says, no, my grace is sufficient. In other words, God says, don't ask me to take the trouble away. Ask for the grace that will give you strength when you're weak. As a church family, I want you to hear personally from me that all is well in the Dollar household. As a church family, I want you to hear personally from me that all is well in the Dollar household. I will never put any fault on my children, as Jesus would never put any fault on me. I will never put any fault on my children. And I repented. Oh God, I see what you're doing. God's not going to take the trouble away from you, but he'll give you grace to strengthen you, so at the end of the day, he'll get the glory out of what you were going through. God didn't stop the 3 Hebrew boys from going through the fiery furnace, but he put grace on them so when they went through the fiery furnace, they would be able to come out. God didn't stop Daniel from being put in the lion den, but he put grace on him so in the midst of the lion's den, the next morning you would see the glory of God that came from the grace of God. I want to close, and I'll have nothing else to say about this. I want to close in the book of Psalms, chapter 35, and it'll describe to you what has gone on. Verse 11, Psalms 35. Malicious witnesses testify against me. They accuse me of crimes I know nothing about. I will never put any fault on my children. They repay me evil for good. I am sick with despair. Yet when they were ill, I grieved for them. I denied myself by fasting for them, but my prayers returned unanswered. I was sad as though they were my friends or family, as if I were grieving for my own mother. But they are glad now that I'm in trouble. They gleefully join together against me.
A sister of the 15-year-old corroborates her story about the alleged attack.
I will never put any fault on my children.
Operator, what were you arguing about? She said, He asked me, it was a previous argument about me going to a party on Saturday. He brought up grades and I started crying. So I walked out of the room to the kitchen to my sister's. I was by myself. It was just me and my sisters in the kitchen. And he followed behind me and asked me why I was crying. I said I did not want to talk to him. He went off. That's when he went off. He came and put his arm around my neck and choked me and bent me over the table. I pushed him off me, and he threw me on the ground and punched me in the face. In the deputy's written statement, a sister of the 15-year-old corroborates her story about the alleged attack.
I am attacked by people I don't even know. They slander me constantly. They mock me and call me names. They snarl at me. How long, O Lord, will you look on and do nothing? Rescue me from their fierce attacks. Protect my life from these lions. Then I will thank you in front of the great assembly. I will praise you before all people. Don't let my treacherous enemies rejoice over my defeat. As a church family, I want you to hear personally from me that all is well in the Dollar household. Don't let those who hate me without cause gloat over my sorrow. They don't talk of peace. They plot against innocent people who mind their own business. They shout, ha ha. With our eyes, our own eyes, we saw him do it. Oh Lord, you know all about this. Do not stay silent. Do not abandon me now, oh Lord. Wake up, rise to my defense.
I think he was honest about his response, and I support him from a biblical and a Christian standpoint. I do think that the situation should be investigated, and I believe that he gave an honest answer. I do think it's probably tough for him being in the limelight, being a pastor, and being a Christian man. Typically, being a Christian, the minute something happens that you have to encounter that may be a worldly situation, people are quick to condemn you, and I think that he's handling it very well. I believe that there are situations where children are truly abused, and it's never brought to attention, and I just think the situation was blown out of proportion because he is a Christian man and he is in the limelight. So no, it needs to be a family matter that's handled privately.
I think his comments were on time. He told us what really happened, and that what we've heard in the press. I just believe him. A little surprised initially, just because you're not expecting to hear stuff like that. But after hearing about it and reading about it a little bit more, I just wanted to wait to actually hear from him to see what really went on.
Now, that's all I got to say about that. Let's get to the message that the enemy is trying to stop. I will never put any fault on my children. As a church family, I want you to hear personally from me that all is well in the Dollar household.